Hey there guys, welcome to a special episode of Churchill Customs.
Now, a lot of you guys probably have known that we did this epic, awesome trip through southern China. There's our logo and our flag from the actual TV show. And actually, Winston had an awesome opportunity to do an interview with Guangdong TV in Shenzhen.
That's correct. So, I'm currently in Japan at the moment, which is why we're putting this up now, since we can't actually film an episode since I'm not here.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You ghost?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So we thought, just in case you hadn't seen it, we'd put in the full HD interview right here so you guys can actually see what people are saying about our big trip and also catch up and maybe see the interview in case you didn't.
Absolutely, and if you've seen the trailer, it's only a couple minutes long, so you spill the beans on some more details on the actual trip, so it's definitely worth a watch.
Absolutely, so please stick around, take a look, let us know what you think in the comments, because we're making these videos and this whole adventure thing is for you, our audience, and we really appreciate your feedback, so please let us know.
And we promise it's coming out soon.
Yeah, by the end of the year. Anyway guys, speak to you soon. Until next time, as always, stay awesome.
Coming up on FaceTime.
Adventure, bikes, southern China.
What more could you want?
Two vloggers travelling through 5 provinces including Guangdong, Guangxi, Hunan, Yunnan, Guizhou and covering 5,000 kilometres.
Oh, you got to try the cow dung hot pot.
What? Cow dung hot pot?
And in the small villages, in the minority people's houses, it's all real China that most Chinese people haven't even seen.
Winston Sturzel, known as SerpentZA on YouTube, is a British South African vlogger who has been in Shenzhen for 9 years.
So you're in Shenzhen and you don't know what to do? Come with me and I'll show you.
He produces videos about interesting things he has come across and how he feels about living in southern China.
Shenzhen's first big posh shopping mall. So why don't we go inside and see what it's all about? Flower markets are a huge part of the Chinese New Year Spring Festival and full of all sorts of weird and wonderful plants that you've probably never seen in your life. Here we go, another little scam here. If someone seems to be baiting you into breaking the road rules, crossing over a white line, going into the emergency lane, something like that, just ignore them.
And in doing so has attracted more than 56,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes, I'm taking a salad. I'm on some sort of nonsense diet to lose weight before my big trip.
Along with his partner, Winston is now making a bold move with his brand new video project. Travelling through southern China on motorbikes, making a marvellous documentary series in the process.
It's Asian giant hornet, and that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it's gonna be a hard, long ride, but thankfully we woke up above the clouds to these beautiful, awesome rice terraces.
We organised a date with Winston online and met him in a Shenzhen coffee shop.
Well, hey there guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going for an interview with a Guangzhou TV station, and they've come all the way down here to meet me in this local coffee shop. So let's go and take a look. Well, what do we have here? Got a whole team set up.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to FaceTime.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure.
You're vlogging as we speak.
Yes, so this is going to go up on YouTube, so how about an introduction?
Hello everybody, my name's Hazza. I'm from GRT International Channel, and we're about to do an interview, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Fantastic.
To learn what his epic adventure looks like.
Now, can you tell us what was it that inspired the project Conquering Southern China?
Well, I've been doing these motorcycle adventures once a year, more or less, for the past 4 or 5 years now. And actually, when I was interviewed by CRI English a while ago, I made friends with one of the cameramen, and he was very interested in these motorcycle adventures that I was doing. So he contacted me and said, why don't we make a documentary? And I thought, well, I'm going to be doing an adventure anyway. Why not do it bigger and better and actually have a film crew and go all out and make a proper documentary? So that's how it happened.
I'm sure you had a pretty large team. Can you tell us who went with you when you filmed the documentary?
Absolutely. Actually, it was a very small team. It was just myself and my partner, Sea-Milk. And I'm saying business partner here, okay, just to make that clear.
No, we weren't.
Speculation.
Welcome to Silent Hill.
Matthew, known as Sea-Milk online, is Winston's motorcycle shop business partner in Huizhou, and also his partner on a YouTube show called Adventure Talk Show on Two Wheels, a talk show produced by Winston and Matthew while they are riding motorbikes.
All right, so I suppose we're just going to start talking about dating then, and actually starting a relationship. Oh, there's still
Dogs. Oh, dogs.
Okay.
Dogs.
Okay, just back out slowly. Myself and Sea-Milk on the motorcycles, starring in the show.
Yep.
Then we had the two cameramen, Rick and Mark, and both of them have worked in the film industry, and you know, they were very professional, so they came along with the techniques and they knew exactly what to do. And then we had a driver who's actually a subscriber of mine. So I put out onto YouTube and I said, guys, we need a driver. Does anyone have a Chinese driver's license who's willing to come along on an adventure of a lifetime? And so Eddie from Hong Kong said, well, hey, I've got time. I've got a Chinese driver's license. I'll come along with you.
Wow.
So yeah, that was it. 5 of us.
Two vloggers travelling through 5 provinces including Guangdong, Guangxi, Hunan, Yunnan, Guizhou, and covering 5,000 kilometres, kicking off a revolutionary new documentary adventure.
So how long did the entire trip take?
It took us, well, the actual trip was 15 days, but there were a couple of extra days before for preparation and afterwards as well to wrap up and shoot a couple of extra little scenes that we had forgotten.
Now, did you have the trip planned out before you left, or was it sort of like a make it up as you go kind of thing?
Well, we planned it as much as we could. Now, I've been through a lot of the provinces that we planned to go through. So I basically knew some interesting things to see and do in those provinces. I knew some good routes, so we stuck to those in the beginning. But for instance, I'd never been to Yunnan, and a lot of the places in Guizhou I hadn't been. And we wanted to try new things, so we went and basically asked our local Chinese fans. First of all, on Youku, I put videos up on Youku and also on YouTube and said, can you recommend some interesting, strange dishes or some kind of strange or cool scenery?
Yep.
And we got lots of suggestions. I mean, we got someone saying, oh, you got to try the cow dung hot pot. Which,
What? Cow dung hot pot?
Yeah, which is basically they take the semi-digested grass out of the intestines of the cow
Whoa.
and they make a hot pot out of it, and we just had to go try that because it just sounded so bizarre. So we basically...
And you tried it, you ate it?
Yeah, we ate it. We ate it on the show. So.
And we get to see it in your documentary?
Absolutely, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your reaction to the taste of that hot pot?
Well, I can tell you this much. It smells just as you'd expect it to smell.
Oh.
Basically smells like an open toilet. And, well, the taste isn't too bad, to be honest. But it definitely makes your stomach move. That's what it's designed for, really.
Yeah, so is that a popular dish wherever that was? Where was
Sure,
that?
that was in Guizhou.
Guizhou. Is that a popular dish there? Is that actually a thing that people eat?
Sure. In fact, we had previously arranged to meet with a restaurant owner who said that we could come and film. But it turned out that he'd given us the incorrect directions and he was in a different city from the city we ended up in. So we just searched on, you know, the local Chinese media apps to find out if they had that, and there were lots of restaurants serving this kind of hot pot. So we just found a little local one and walked in there and spoke to the people, and they were more than happy to have us there. They even offered for us to come in the morning and see like the freshly, you know, killed cow stuff, and you know, to help them sift through the, we did all of that. And
I think we might move on from that for a second. Okay. We'll talk about food a little bit later.
Sure.
What makes your documentary series unique?
A couple of things, actually. Number one, We didn't take any highways, right? We didn't sit on a bus, sit in a train, sit on a plane. We rode motorcycles through tiny little villages. You get to see the real China, the way it really is. Okay. You know, we skipped the big cities. We did go into one or two that we had to. We tried our best to skip anything tourist related. Once or twice we got tricked into, we did some research and thought it wasn't tourist, but it turned out to be a tourist thing. But for the majority of this documentary, it's all real China that most Chinese people haven't even seen.
Wow.
So we get to see the real, like on the ground, in the small villages, in the minority people's houses kind of stuff. Another thing is, myself and Similk, we both speak Chinese. So a lot of the documentaries you see about China, you'll have a presenter walking around speaking English and he has a translator, but we interact with the locals ourselves.
走错了。
我们只要来这里跟你说你好。
我们走错了，是是。
So there's no lost in translation stuff, right? And also because we speak Chinese, we're able to make friends, we're able to get into places that other people wouldn't. It was also completely unplanned. So although we had a very, very basic idea, we didn't have like we're going to meet so-and-so at this place, and we hadn't pre-arranged anything. So it was like when we arrived at a place, we had to try and figure it out. So we really got to meet genuine people, and people were taken off guard and they were just themselves. So I think that's going to make it very, very different. Hey, Similk. How do you like this? Similk has to dance with the honey people. Actually, it's Iju people.
Iju people.
Got this. Eddie, you're missing your step.
Although I lost the bet. Looks like Winston got into it now. He couldn't resist. Dude, you suck.
Can you give us a general rundown of your itinerary? So where did you start from and where did you go, and what were the places along the way that you stopped at?
Okay, well, we started, of course, in Guangdong province, where we are now, from Huizhou, because our motorcycle shop is based in Huizhou. So we left from Huizhou and we went up into Shaoguan. And near Shaoguan, there's all sorts of interesting things, interesting geological features, I should say. So we went around and searched for all these interesting things to go and see. And we also tried some very bizarre Cantonese foods. Okay, guess what we're eating? Cat, snake, and chicken. We drank snake bile, alcohol, and all that kind of nonsense.
So then where did you go from there? What was the next stop?
Okay, well, we went through Shaoguan, we went through some very interesting places, and we actually went up into Hunan. And it was actually very surprising because we weren't planning to do a lot in Hunan. We were just going to pass through half a day or a day's riding. But we actually ended up having a great time there. We passed these, I believe it's the, I don't want to make a mistake here, but I think it's the Yao Tu, so the Yao minority people. They have these stilt houses on the river, and they're built completely out of wood, and it's something really different compared to the sort of concrete architecture you see around here. So we walked into their village over this, well, we rode over the suspension bridge into their little village and just started talking to the old people sitting around there, and they invited us into their house to look around and showed us the way they cook, and it was really pretty awesome. So we spent a lot of time dealing with, or I should say, talking to the locals. Interacting with the locals, and it was really quite an eye-opener to see how they live, and they just live off the land. It was pretty cool. And then we ate another really weird thing there, which was Asian giant hornets, fried Asian giant hornets.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you can eat that.
Yeah, it's you know, it's complete. So it's still got its legs and its wings, and it's when you eat it, it doesn't taste that bad, but it's the idea and the texture, which is just kind of hard for any foreigner.
You must have a strong stomach.
Yeah, especially after that trip.
Now, we've talked a lot about food so far.
Yes.
I think I've already got the answer of what was the strangest type of food that you ate on your trip.
Right.
Are there any other interesting dishes that you tried?
I think probably one of the most interesting meals that we had anyway was in the south of Yunnan. There's a very famous place. It's got the most amazing rice terraces that you've ever seen. It's called Yunnan. But we spoke to a local who invited us to go and fish in the rice terraces, and what they did was it's just like for fun. They invited like a whole bunch of random people there, threw a whole lot of fish in the rice terrace, and then everyone just tromps around, tries to catch the fish by hand.
Wow.
So yeah, we went and did that, and it was actually a lot of fun. Probably one of the most interesting things on the trip. And Sea Milk and I had a bet to see who could catch the fish first. Whoever caught it first, the other person had to cook it for him. So yeah, we caught it, and right there on the mountain, we set up a little fire, and we cleaned the fish, and well, Sea Milk had to cook the fish for me. In fact, throughout the entire documentary, we had these little challenges, and I won the majority of the time. But yeah, Sea Milk did win one where I had to. I'll tell you about that briefly. Okay. We met these women who have incredibly long hair, and they use this special kind of shampoo, which is actually just rotten rice water, and it smells rancid. It's terrible. It's the most disgusting smell you've ever had. And what they do is they use that to wash their hair, and they say it makes their hair...
Does it actually work?
Well, I don't know about that. It certainly makes their hair smell terrible.
Okay.
Anyway,
I thought you were going to say smell nice.
No. It's awful. It's really, you kind of gag if you get near to any of them. Anyway, so the bet is we had to guess how long their hair was. And anyway, Sea Milk won that bet, and the penalty was I had to wash my hair using that stuff.
Well, lucky you've got short hair.
Yeah, still, it was one of the most gag reflex kind of things of, trying to wash my hair and not vomit at the same time.
Do we actually get to see that in the documentary?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to
the documentary.
Now, I'm sure that the whole trip wasn't all smooth sailing.
Sure.
Were there any little hiccups along the way, or perhaps some not so nice experiences other than the cow dung hot pot that you mentioned?
Yeah, of course. We got lost in the mountains a couple of times. The following car, it got a flat tire at one point. Okay. Yeah. Our car was broken into in Kunming by thieves. We had actually some very interesting experiences in the mountains of Guizhou. For instance, one night we were riding, and it was pitch dark. We were riding on these dirt roads, broken up dirt roads with no lights, and it was incredibly dangerous, and we had to just pull off on the side of the road and try and find a place to sleep. So we've been forced to basically pull off the road because it's pitch black here in Guizhou and the roads are terrible. We found a place where we can camp for the night, but if you take a look at some old abandoned shack, wonder if there's anything inside. Welcome to my home. Hey Rick, what's that?
It's the bomb.
Fine mist.
Dribble.
Wait, here comes Eddie. Wait, on, here it comes. Tough roads.
Breathtaking scenery.
Fascinating locals.
Weird food.
China like you've never seen it before.
This is Conquering Southern China.
You ready to get cracking?
单车上有什么特别？有什么特色？
So, we made it to the mountain.
What do you think it looks like?
Good morning, Yunnan. It's an entire hornet. So we climbed up a mountain, met with these lovely ladies who have incredibly long hair. She says that she's never used shampoo her entire life. She just used this special brew concoction that they make over here.
It smells delicious. This is said to be the best place in the entire world to see Karst Mountain.
They're really iconic for the Guangxi province. And if we were coming around the corner at that time, when this massive collision happened, we could have got mixed up in all that.
这个是牛胃里面，胃里面的那个草没有消化的那个草，消化的就不行啊。
Yeah. I think you really should try what you have with this stuff.
When's it coming out?
Well, it will be this year. I believe we've already finished editing 2 out of the 4 episodes. Some guys to help us do some 3D graphic maps and that kind of thing. So yeah, by the end of the year it'll be ready.
Now when you upload videos to YouTube or other video sharing websites, you have to put some keywords in.
Yeah.
What will the keywords be for this documentary?
China, adventure, bikes, beer, southern China.
What more could you want?
Yeah, pretty much. We traveled through all 5 southern provinces in China. We went through all of them, and it was really a fantastic journey. We saw so many interesting things. It's difficult to try and explain it,